major role of co-creation is cultural change. Challenge of transition or transformation of our societies is not really a policy issue. It is to move societies to a very different lifestyle, very different view on what is the economy, for example. So what is the role of consumers, what is the role of producers, and so on. I do not think that you can change this by any kind of traditional policies. In economics, the idea always is, okay, you need to internalize costs and then set economic incentives, and you take preferences as given. Challenge that we face is to change the preferences. Yeah? And that means cultural change. And cultural change can only be achieved by what we now would refer to as co-creation. The consumers need to reflect upon their preferences. So they need to be responsible consumers. But also the producers need to be responsible producers. If both are expected to be responsible, why don't they team up? The internet offers many ways how, for example, the companies could launch special sites where they would interact with future consumers and then together try to develop new products which reflect changing attitudes and values. That is, I would call a co-creative marketplace. It depends on the beliefs and convictions of the producers and consumers. In such a co-creative marketplace, whether they include ethical considerations. And ethical positions might be even the medium, how they can agree on certain ideas how to further develop products. In environmental ethics, it seems to me we face the challenge to leave behind anthropocentrism. We, the humans, and the rest of the Earth system, we co-create ourselves. So that means we have a level of interaction which really raises this issue about global responsibility and whose needs really count. Few Latin American countries have constitutions which include the interests of Mother Earth and give explicit constitutional rights to nature. This must be the first step, because you cannot think of any kind of more specific institutional or legal arrangements without first providing a firm constitutional basis. Next step is how to do it. And obviously only possible via creating institutions which represent those interests. A system of laws which creates legal persons which represent nature, but where humans are, of course, then the actors. Because otherwise, the dynamics of our societies and the economic system will eventually always marginalize these broader views. Ecological economists normally see themselves in opposition to mainstream economics. Even mainstream economics allows for recognizing certain possibilities for change. If education creates utility, then growth means that people will appreciate more education. And education is clearly an activity which consumes much less resources than a new smartphone and all this. If society moves to this kind of culture, a habit, value stance, then the dynamics of the system will be different. In that sense, the idea of co-creation in the context of preferences can reconcile economy and ecology.